All right, today we're going to be talking about leadership. All right, it was a requested topic. I figured, why not? So, leadership is something that's misunderstood by a lot of people. It's often looked at from the top down. You have a good leader, and he finds followers. Well, it begins earlier than the followers. Good leadership begins with first an identity. That identity could be a hobby, a sport team, a flag, a martial arts school, a family, a political group. Could be a group of victims. It could be a kids class in a school. Whatever the identity is, you first need that identity in order to eventually have a good leader. Because what a leader does, a leader fights for the identity's tribe to maintain that identity as long as it can. So without the identity, without the, we could say, compass, right? The ethical or moral compass of that group, you cannot have a good leader. Because the leader has to follow that compass in order to dictate how the tribe is led. One of the mistakes that people make too often throughout history, we could probably pick example after example, is people follow an individual. They follow a man. They follow a woman. They follow a person. The issue with that is that these people change. Everybody changes. Who I was 5 years ago, is probably a completely different person than who I am now. Right? Not just body weight-wise. Who I was at 19 years old, nobody here would recognize me. Right? Behavior-wise and physically. Right? So we constantly change as individuals. The problem with following an individual is that you are not privy to those changes. You do not understand that the check that you wrote on day 1 is a different purchase on day 100, a day 1,000. When you meet somebody and you say, I want to follow this man, well, that man might not be the same person you are following a year from now. When you follow a man, that's when you run into an issue. So the reason I say this is because I consider myself an effective leader. Good, bad is irrelevant. There needn't be a value judgment with leadership, and that's what I'm trying to convey. Leadership is something that you do. There is a formula. It is math. So we have to ask, well, what am I a leader for? You could easily say the jungle gym, and that is pretty much a good enough answer for most people who would ask the question. But to break down what that means is, I am a leader for strength, for tribe, for accountability, right? For a work ethic, for loyalty, for pressure. I'm a leader for all of those components that all of you in some way, shape, or form have benefited from being in the school. But don't ever think that you guys are following me. I am a leader of the identity of the jungle gym. You guys are followers of the identity of the jungle gym. The reason that's so important is because I can change. The identity of the jungle gym doesn't. In order for the identity of the jungle gym to change, who changes it? Everybody. The tribe changes the identity. And I answer to that. So as a leader, I'm obligated to follow you. You are not obligated to follow me. So sure, I'm Master Chim, right? I'm the 4-stripe gray belt, right? I'm the guy that's at the top of the hierarchy of this tribe. But don't ever confuse that for me being better than you. for you being lesser than anybody here, because we are all collectively part of a tribe. That tribe has an identity, and we all answer to it. So don't follow people, don't follow personalities, don't follow something that necessarily makes you feel good, unless you acknowledge that is what you're signing up for. Some people come here because they like me, they join because they like me. Then they realize, well, they're not in sync with the group. They're not in sync with what we do here. Right? I might meet them somewhere and we laugh, I make a couple of jokes, invite them to come in, and oh yeah, this guy's really cool, and then I'm screaming at them. Right? I'm yelling at them. I'm taking their excuses and I'm smacking them in the face with it. And stuff starts to get really uncomfortable really quickly, and all of a sudden they don't like me anymore. And then they leave. They can criticize anything they want. Don't criticize my leadership, though. Because you are never following the identity. Don't follow me. I'm not here to be your friend. I may be your friend, but I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to make sure that we follow the identity of what we all sign off on. Right? What probably happens a little bit more often is people don't like me, right? And they join. Oh, that scary guy, right? I got the very unfriendly sign on my door, which basically says, get out, don't ever bother me, leave me alone, go talk to somebody else, right? But then they start training, and they start seeing what the group does for them. They start getting the benefits, they start making the transformation that the group provides. How many people here have entry ranks? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, come on. Your arm's longer than mine. How many blue belts included? Keep your hands up. Blue belts. Now lower your hand if you've never rolled with me. Put your hands down. Anybody here who's never rolled with me, raise your hand. Now, I'm going to ask you collectively, put your hands down, I'm going to ask you collectively, have you guys ever achieved anything out of being a part of the Jungle Gym? Yes. Never rolled with me, though. Right? So how could I be the one that is responsible for you making this transformation? How could I sit here and say I'm the one that changed your life? How much of an ego would I have to sit here and take credit for every little struggle and the overcoming of that struggle that everybody here has experienced, some more than others? That's not leadership. Leadership is putting the credit where it belongs, which is right back on you guys. Leadership is reminding you all that without you, I'm nothing. Without you, the Jungle Gym is nothing. And any leader that says otherwise, you better drop him like a potato. A little St. Patty's Day joke right there. All right? So, thank you guys for listening.